Evening, folks. Ah, hey, Spy.
Um,
Spy. See, what's going on? Hi, Spy.
what's up?
Hi. What's the background noise? What's the noise in the background?
Huh? Is it better now?
Yeah, that's better. Thanks. Thanks for coming. I've sent invites to others in case they're able to make it. Now, here, as for the start of a new daily live stream I'm doing, here's where we're gonna start. Pokemon Twilight Tuesdays. The, fir-
Oh yeah.
Yep, the first of the starter Pokemon and of the Kanto region. Kanto region starter Pokemon. Yeah, Charmander, Squirtle, and Bulbasaur. All three of them are Pokemon that you would get from Professor Oak on your journey in the Kanto region. They are the first of evolutionary forms. Bulbasaur is the first of grass Pokemon. Charmander the first of fire Pokemon, and Squirtle the first of water Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
And yep, yeah, and it all goes back to 1996 when the game started to come out. Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue. They all come out in a console that the games are really used to be released on cartridges where you would put into this kind of device right over here on the lower right hand corner, and turn it on, and charge it, and you will get to play the games. Now, let's start from the beginning. Now, let's start with Bulbasaur. Yeah, also known as the seed Pokemon. Bulbasaur, number one on the list, and part grass, part poison.
Oh shit.
Bulbasaur is well known has a the Pokemon with a bulb on its back.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Yeah. Let's see what. Yeah, it's one of the first three partner Pokemon available of Kanto. It's mainly Torkoal. Here's something to help learn. Let's read along. Bulbasaur is a great grass poison type introduced in Generation 1. A small, mainly Torkoal amphibian Pokemon with red eyes and a green bulb on its back. It is based on a frog toad with a bulb resembling a plant bulb that grows into a flower as it evolves. Yeah, it makes sense when you look at it. Yeah, it's like a frog more like a toad with a bulb on its back. Resembles a plant bulb, which grows into a flower as it evolves. Bulbasaur is notable for being the very first Pokemon of the National Pokédex. It's one of the three choices for a starter Pokemon in the original Game Boy games, Pokemon Red and Blue, Red and Green in Japan, along with Charmander and Squirtle. Yeah, its designated species is called the Seed Pokemon. Yeah. Thank you. We'll be joined by others soon. Yeah. It weighs over 15.2 pounds, which is 6.9 kilograms. Its ability is Overgrow, and hidden ability Chlorophyll. And here are its evolved forms: Ivysaur and Venusaur. Yeah, let's go to Ivysaur. Ivysaur. Yeah, not much info, but it is a grass poison type introduced in Generation 1. It's the evolved form of Bulbasaur. When you evolve Bulbasaur, when you level Bulbasaur up to level 16, he evolves into Ivysaur. At level 32, you would evolve Ivysaur into Venusaur. Yeah, it's number 2 in the National Pokédex. And its abilities are the same as Bulbasaur. It's 3.3 feet tall, and it's about 13 kilograms, which is 28.7 pounds. Now we go to Venusaur, the final evolved form of Bulbasaur. And now we should be able to get some more juicy info on this one. Hi, Dragon Master. Welcome.
Hey, what's up? Happy New Year's.
Yeah, we're on Venusaur. We're going through. This is the start of my new daily live Tuesdays. After
Cool.
listening to Andy talk with Bone Bridger and John Automates about Pokemon, I feel like I felt like doing more streams, but also focusing on different types of Pokemon. It is the biggest selling franchise of all time. Yeah, and from Japan, Venusaur is a grass poison type Pokemon introduced in Generation 1. It is large, quadrupedal. It is a large quadrupedal Pokemon. Quadrupedal. Wow. With a turquoise body. It has small red eyes and several large ferns on its back and head. The plant bulb that was on its back in previous evolutions, Bulbasaur and Ivysaur, has now bloomed into a large flower with large pink petals and a yellow center. Yeah, shaped like a crown. The female has a seed in the center. Venusaur is inspired by toads and the horned frog. Horned frog, huh? Never heard of a horned frog, but the large flower is similar to the Rafflesia arnoldi. Rafflesia arnoldi, a parasitic plant with an unpleasant odor, referencing the Pokemon's poison type. Yeah, that's a good point. Venusaur is notable for being the final evolution stage of one of the original starter Pokemon, along with Charizard and Blastoise. It has a Mega Evolution available in Generation 6 games and Pokemon Go. It also has a Gigantamax form available in Pokemon Sword and Shield with an exclusive G-Max move, G-Max Vine Lash. Okay, and same as Bulbasaur and Ivysaur, Venusaur is called Seed Pokemon. It is 6.7 feet tall. And it weighs about 100 kilograms, which is 20.5 pounds. Man, that's not bad. And for its Mega Evolution, Venusaur has a different ability called Thick Fat. Yeah, and here's the difference. It has its ability is Thick Fat in Mega form, and it's 2.4 meters, which is 7.10 feet tall, and its weight is 155.5 kilograms, which is 342.8 pounds. Amazing. Now that's amazing. Now let's next up. And now we go to Charmander, the first of the fire Pokemon. Charmander is a fire-type Pokemon introduced in Generation 1. Charmander is a bipedal reptilian Pokemon. Most of its body is colored orange, while its underbelly is light yellow and it has blue eyes. It has a flame at the end of its tail, which is said to signify its health. Charmander's design is based on a lizard. However, as its name suggests, it may also have been inspired by salamanders, which in mythology have an affinity with fire. Charmander is notable for being one of the 3 choices for a starter Pokemon in the original Game Boy games, Pokemon Red, Blue, and Green, along with Bulbasaur and Squirtle. It is known as the lizard Pokemon. Height is 0.6 meters, which is 2 feet tall. 8.5 kilograms, which is 18.7 pounds. Its abilities are Blaze, and its hidden ability is Solar Power. Now, here are Charmanders of all forms, Charmeleon and Charizard. At level 16, you would evolve Charmander and Charmeleon. And at level 36, you would evolve Charmeleon into Charizard. Now for Charmeleon, a fire type introduced in Generation 1. It is known as the Flame Pokemon. Height is 1.1 meters, which is 3.7 feet tall. Weighs 19 kilograms, which is 41.9 pounds. Its ability is Blaze, and hidden ability is Solar Power. Yeah. Pretty cool. Next up, Charizard. Charizard is a fire flying type Pokemon, which is also the first flying type Pokemon introduced. Charizard is a large dragon-like Pokemon, mainly orange in color. It has 2 large wings, with underside of which are turquoise. Like Charmander and Charmeleon, it has a flame at the end of its tail. The design of Charizard appears to draw inspiration from dragons of European folklore, with its large wings, horned head, and fiery breath. Charizard is notable for being the final evolution stage of one of the original starter Pokemon, along with Venusaur and Blastoise. Although it looks like a dragon, it doesn't have dragon typing. However, it has 2 Mega Evolutions, available in Generation 6 games and Pokemon Go, one of which replaces its flying type with Dragon. Charizard also has a Gigantamax form, available in Pokemon Sword and Shield, with an exclusive G-Max move, G-Max Wildfire. Now, Charizard species is Flame Pokemon. Its height is 1.7 meters, which is 5.7 pounds. Strange. I would imagine it would be bigger than that, taller than that. Its weight is 90.5 kilograms, which is 199.5 pounds, almost 200 pounds. Its abilities are Blaze and Solar Power, which is a hidden ability. Now, here's its alternate forms. Here's Charizard's Mega Charizard X form. Now, this one is heavier. It's heavier than Charizard alone. Here it says it's 1.7 meters tall and 5.7 feet tall. Its weight is 110.5 kilograms, which is 243.6 pounds. And this version's abilities is Tough Claws. And here's the Y. Quite different, but more gnarly too. Yeah. 100.5 kilograms, 221.6 pounds, and its ability is Drought. The same move ability used by Groudon. Man, it's amazing. Next up. And now we come to Squirtle, a water-type Pokemon introduced in Gen 1. Squirtle is a bipedal reptilian Pokemon. It has a blue body with purple eyes, a light brown belly, and a tough red-brown shell on its back. It has a long tail that curls into a spiral. Squirtle is primarily based on a turtle, taking inspiration from both land-dwelling and sea-dwelling varieties. The curly tail resembles a crashing wave. Yeah, very good point there. Squirtle is notable for being one of the three choices for a starter Pokemon in the original Game Boy games: Red, Blue, and Green, along with Bulbasaur and Charmander. It's the tiny turtle Pokemon with 1.5 meters and 1.8 feet tall. It's 9 kilograms, which is 19.8 pounds. Abilities are Torrent, and Rain Dish. And here we are. Squirtle evolves into Wartortle at level 16, and Wartortle evolves into Blastoise at level 36. Wow. Next up, Wartortle, a water Pokemon introduced in Gen 1. Its species is called Turtle. It's 1 meter with 3.3 feet tall. It's 22.5 kilograms, which is 49.6 pounds. Its abilities are Torrent and Rain Dish. Now for Blastoise, the water Pokemon type introduced in G1. Blastoise is a large bipedal reptilian Pokemon. It has a blue body with a small purple eyes, a light brown belly, and a stubby tail. Stubby. It has a large brown shell with 2 powerful water cannons on either side, which can be withdrawn. Blastoise's design is heavily influenced by turtles and tortie. The cannons likely draw inspiration from concept of mobile tank or battleship, which is true. Blastoise is notable for being the final evolution stage of one of the original star Pokemon along with Venusaur and Charizard. It has a Mega Evolution available in Gen 6 games and Pokemon Go. It also has a Gigantamax form available in Sword and Shield with an exclusive G-Max move, G-Max Cannonade. Next up, it is called the Shellfish Pokemon. 1.6 meters, which is 5.3 feet tall, 85.5 kilograms, 188.5 pounds. Abilities are Torrent and Rain Dish. And now let's check out its Mega Evolutionary form. Quite wicked cool with the cannons on its arms, on its wrists, and its shell. Really cool. It is a Shellfish Pokemon, 1.6 meters and 5.3 feet tall. It's 101.1 kilograms, which is 222.9 pounds. Its abilities is Mega Launcher. Wow. Yeah, it was cool. So what do you think, guys?
What's that?
So what do you think?
About what?
Do you find them interesting?
Yeah.
Hi, 13 King Style.
Yes.
How's it going?
I'm pretty swell. What about you?
Doing well. Yeah. We just went. Yeah. Yeah, we went over the first.
The
We went
first
over
three
the.
starters, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle. Quite interesting. They've been around for almost 30 years. Well, the Pokemon brand has been around for almost 30 years. Yeah, you find them in Pallet Town.
Here's the question though: since Pokemon Yellow is a thing, does Pikachu technically count as a starter or Pichu? Right? Because they technically retcon that, right? They
Yeah, they
technically
did.
afterwards, but it wasn't originally intended that way. But because Pikachu is popular as the mascot, they're like, well, we might as well do a yellow version and get a baby version of Pikachu, aka Pichu.
Yep. Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, these Pokemon really are something. So, what do you think, Dragon Master?
I think they look cute. Just remind me why I liked Gen 1 red and blue so much back then.
Yeah, they look cute, but like they're like you know what they remind me of? They remind me of like a Chihuahua dog or a terrier or like one of those cats. They look adorable at first glance, but that doesn't mean that if you don't give them food or you don't give them their favorite toy, they're not going to attack you. You know, that's what it reminds me of. Like,
Yeah.
don't let their looks fool you. Like, they're just like regular cats and dogs or other animals. They will attack you if they don't get what they want.
Right.
True that.
Yep.
Like, look at Pikachu in the anime, right? He attacked Ash because he just didn't like him,
Yeah.
Same-
and he didn't want to be in the Pokeball,
the same Pikachu who has never evolved.
which is
Yep.
to me it's ridiculous. It's like, dude, at least do like a hybrid version of Raichu / Pikachu. Like, you don't even have to do a full Raichu. It could be like an in between version where he's kind of orange.
Yeah.
You know that form that they were gonna do for the original Pokemon Gold that was essentially like a Buddhist god?
Oh, really?
I forgot what it was called, but it was like it would have been the third form in the Pikachu Raichu form. But it got canceled. Instead, they just replaced it with Pichu as the baby Pokemon.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they wanted to do it. Yep.
Had
Yeah.
that not happened, it would have been Pikachu would have been the starter, the first one, and then everything else would have followed suit.
Yep. That's true.
But they changed their minds. It sucks
Yeah,
though because it's still in the codes. Like, it got leaked years ago, right?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it sure did.
Also, do you know Lugia was never intended to be a Pokemon in the games? It was actually an anime exclusive thing originally.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw it.
What made them change their minds?
Well, they liked the design. That's why.
Yeah.
That was the reason. It was like, wait a minute. Wait, this design, you made it out of a dream / a nightmare?
Yep.
We're gonna use it. Screw it. Like, and they probably couldn't think of something else that looked kind of white / silver, right?
Yeah.
So they were like, wait a minute. We can't use Mewtwo again. I mean,
Right.
we have Mew. Mewtwo looks different, but it's not silver enough, so we can't do that. So they just probably were like, no, we're gonna have to use this guy from the anime staff to make us our Pokemon in the game. And that's how Lugia was born as a because how different it would have been. It just would have been an anime exclusive Pokemon.
Yeah.
It would have reminded me. You remember the animals, the non-Pokemon animal Pokemon that was essentially they were Pokemon but not Pokemon.
Yeah.
They were just like regular rats, regular birds.
Uh-huh.
Just
Definitely.
not like elemental attack powers. They were just normal animals.
They sure were.
And it's weird because it's like you would think in the world of Pokemon there'd be regular animals besides Pokemon, but Game Freak / Nintendo kind of retconned that.
Yeah, they did.
Because think about it, like they did say that there were birds and fish that were not Pokemon in the original games, in the original like red, green, and blue.
Uh-huh.
Why else would you have butterfly nets, fishing poles, and stuff like that, right?
Yeah,
What are you gonna do with a regular fishing pole with Gyarados, right? Nothing.
right.
Nothing. Like, so you're obviously catching regular fish.
Yep. Definitely.
So like, and then they just said, no, we're just gonna stick to Pokemon being the only animals in that world, which is like, okay, then basically the dark reality is that Torachicks are chicken nuggets. Toros / milk tank are cheeseburgers. Like,
Oh, I heard-
what else? What other animals? Like, come on! Like, what they're gonna make vegan burgers?
I heard if you read the manga of Pokemon, it actually like details that kind of reality you're describing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what else? Think about it. Like, what other animal? Like you have unfortunately Squirtle soup, turtle
Yeah.
soup. Like, what else are they gonna use for that?
No idea.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
what they have to do. Like, it's just the reality. Like, they're, of course, Pokemon / Game Freak, they're not going to say that publicly, but that's what it is. That's heavily inferring,
Yeah.
because there's no other animals that they could use to, like, what do they eat in the world of Pokemon, right? Humans. What do they eat? And what other Pokemon eat other Pokemon, right? Like, they eat each other, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, the only Pokemons that don't get eaten are probably the ghost Pokemon, because how are you going to eat a ghost Pokemon?
Yeah.
And the rock types, because it's like, unless you have like metal teeth, like, you're not going to eat a rock Pokemon. You ain't going to eat an Onyx.
Definitely not. Mm-hmm. Right on.
Yeah, I remember like watching the anime, and they were eating cheeseburgers in front of milk tanks. I'm like, why are you doing that? Why are you eating hamburgers in front of Pokemon that are cows? That'd be like them eating chicken nuggets in front of Torachicks. That's so disrespectful.
Yeah. Yeah, that too.
Also, the one plot hole in the Pokemon anime that we never got resolved, sort of, was Ash's dad, who his father really is. But it's heavily implied the guy with the Chikorita, Silver, the anime counterpart, not the actual game Silver, that is Ash's father. Because he did say to like other people in the Pokemon specials, right? Yeah, I have a son that's like around your age, that he's going on an adventure.
Yeah.
So it's heavily implied that Silver from the anime is Ash's father, which
Yep.
originally it was going to be Giovanni, but they scrapped it because they didn't want Ash's dad to be evil.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I read that one, something about that once before.
And instead it went to Gold. Like, Gold ended up becoming Giovanni's son.
Yeah.
So like Red / Ash would have been the son of Giovanni, but like somebody was like, dude, we can't have the main character. What is this, Star Wars, right? We can't have the main character be a
Yep.
son of a villain.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, that would have been a bit dark for people to
At the
embrace.
time, yeah, it would have been an interesting concept, but it's like back then, it's like I think now people would have been okay with it. They were like, okay, it's something different. But back then, it's like the Nintendo company were like, very child friendly. They probably wouldn't want that.
Yeah, yeah, they certainly would
Because
not.
especially what is Ash gonna do? Let it beat his father, right? He's gonna have attack his own dad, or vice versa. Like Giovanni's gonna attack Ash with Pokemon, like hurt each other. It wouldn't look good.
Yep. Yeah, that too. Yeah. Yep, it's quite a lot. Squirtle was my original favorite because of how round and cute he looks.
Yeah, I liked Squirtle.
Yeah.
If it's not Pikachu, it'd probably be Squirtle, and then Charmander, and then Bulbasaur, in that order. That would be my order.
Yeah. And in the anime, they gave Squirtle some sunglasses, which is kind of funny.
Well, it's a reference for him being in a Squirtle street gang, which is hilarious.
Definitely.
Like his because in Japan, right? Like the look, right, of them wearing, because sometimes the Squirtle gang would wear like a black jacket too. And the
Yeah.
reason for that is because they're based off the Japanese street punks gangs in Japan. Like that's what it is. That's why, like in Yu Yu Hakusho, Toguro had those glasses. Believe it or not,
Yeah.
because he's supposed to represent like a street punk gangster,
Definitely.
not a mafia like the Yakuza, but like basically like just street guys.
Yep.
And it fit.
They sure do. Of course, Ash caught this one, which was the leader of the gang, and he held on to it for a long time until it reunited with in Johto. Right after, right after making it out of the Ilex forest.
It would have been cool if Ash, as a reference, as a tribute to Squirtle, like he kept his glasses, and then eventually, when he saw him again, he gave it back to him. Like he wears it sometimes for certain occasions, and then he's like, "Oh, here's Squirtle. You can have your sunglasses back."
Yep. Yeah. Well, got anything to contribute, Spy?
As far as what?
Of what you've learned so far?
I mean, yeah, it's pretty cool
Yep.
information.
Yeah. Definitely.
Also, there's a really interesting fact about the Squirtle forms. The second and third form originally were not supposed to be together. They were two different Pokemon sets that were similar.
Really?
Yes.
Never
Basically, I forgot the name of the third form, but like World Turtle was basically the third form would have been basically a bigger version of that with wings.
Yeah.
The Blastoid cannon thing, because according to the data leaks, right, they were two different sets originally.
Yeah. Blastoise. Yeah. Blastoise kind of looks like a gargoyle with that head, with those ears in its head.
Yeah, they look slightly different. I mean, they could fit theoretically. I mean, they look similar enough that you wouldn't bat an eye if you're young. But like, you look at the data leaks that happened a couple years ago. It's like, no, they were originally to be different Pokemon.
Yep.
They were not intended to be the same set.
Right.
I believe the reason for that was because of game limitations or data limitations for the game at the time of the Game Boy, and they just said, "Well, we're not going to fully scrap these stuff, so we're just going to merge them together."
Yeah, they definitely had limitations, especially with how many Pokemon you can carry in a party and how many moves they're able to use in battle. Yeah, that's always been been one of the main standards for the games and the Pokemon in them, including how to evolve them as well. Now, how cool does this Blastoise look with that cannon on top, right there, with these two wrist cannons on the side? This
It
is
does
its
look cool. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, that's its mega evolutionary form.
It does. It kind of reminds me. Like here's the thing with it, right? It looks more of a Digimon character, and I'm not saying that as an insult. I actually like both series. I like Digimon and Pokemon.
Yeah.
But I could totally see this in a Digimon situation where like a turtle Digimon would have like multiple cannons
Yeah.
to attack its enemy with it. Like it just fits the motif a lot.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, and speaking of teeth, I don't seem to see any teeth.
It probably were like, yeah, we don't want to draw the teeth because you know how like they probably were thinking if this becomes an anime, right? You know how many teeth that we have to draw, right?
Uh-huh.
They'll just say, "Oh no, it's his teeth is hiding in his mouth," aka we're not drawing teeth.
Yeah.
Because the same thing, like, because think about it, right? Like, there was an issue in, I know this has nothing to do with Pokemon per se, but like animation wise for the anime in Dragon Ball Z, Cell, right? His perfect form. You know those dots that he had all over his body, those circles.
Yeah.
Akira Toriyama regretted creating Cell like that because he had to draw that constantly in the manga and the anime. That's why, like, outside of the recent Dragon Ball Super movie, Cell technically never came back because you know how many times he'd have to draw those dots.
Definitely.
It's a nightmare. It's a headache. And even in anime, the same thing. Like you'd have to draw that. So they're like, no, this is too much. So I can understand why in Pokemon they're like, no, we're just gonna simplify it and we're not gonna give Blastoids any teeth unless he smiles for a brief second. We're not showing him having teeth.
Yeah.
We're just not doing that.
Yeah. Venusaur's also got dots on its petals. And it's definitely a toad or a bullfrog with a big poison flower on top, which is based off
of what?
Which is almost based off a mushroom, but man, Venusaur. Yeah.
Supposedly they're based off of kaijus, like their final form is kaijus, which I could totally see, like the giant monsters from the tokusatsus.
Yeah. That too.
And the mushroom thing, I think they tried to avoid it because you got to remember that mushrooms, depending on the context, could be poison or it could be, illegal paraphernalia. So that's why in Ben 10, right, Gwen's original design where she had the mushroom on her shirt was changed to the cat logo later because they didn't want that to be associated in a kid's cartoon because people might think that's drugs. And it's not.
Yeah. Oh, did you? Yeah. Have you also heard of Venus Stoice? Yeah, in an anime, a rogue Ghastly with in the anime, Ghastly, a rogue Ghastly merged a Venusaur and a Blastoise together to form Venus Stoice, which is crazy too, and that's kind of what you would expect as a Kaiju.
This is like what is this this is also a reference to the fusion thing in Dragon Ball, right? It has to be, right? Like
Yeah,
the fusion dance / the Patara earrings, like what they would look like.
yeah, yeah. This was
Because remember, by this point, Dragon Ball Z probably ended, and like GT probably started around 96. So them doing this is directly a reference to that, to the fusion thing.
yeah. Be cool to see the fusion thing. Even though it looked creepy with Blastoise merging with Venusaur and all. I mean, my God.
Also,
Man.
it looks like a reference to King Koopa / Bowser too from Nintendo Mario.
Yeah, you're right.
It's just
Yeah.
the only difference is he's blue and not gold / green. That's the only difference.
And having a plant on top of his shell as well.
Because
Yeah.
look at the teeth. Look at the teeth. It kind of makes sense that they're referencing that.
Yeah, I can see the teeth. Yeah. Venus. Yeah. Yeah.
Outside
Yeah.
of Charizard, did Ash ever evolve his other starter Pokemon? Obviously, Pikachu doesn't count, but like, I don't think he did. Right?
Right.
He never did outside of Charizard.
Yeah, he never even evolved his Bulbasaur. But May did. Yeah, May evolved her Bulbasaur into Venusaur later on as time moved on. Yeah.
I don't think did Gary evolved. Did Gary ever evolve his Eevee, or did he kept it the same like Pikachu?
No, he evolved it into Umbreon.
Okay, because I know that they were like doing the whole Ash and Gary thing, and then they just said, "Screw it, we're just gonna have him basically be a mini Professor Oak," which I didn't like. I didn't like that. I liked him to be more good, but like he didn't have to be his grandfather.
Right.
Because remember, Brock was like the Pokemon breeder thing, so it's like, why you basically having two characters be the same character?
Yeah. Gary's first Pokemon was Squirtle, and Proof was his Blastoise.
And also, he's blue in the video games.
Yeah, that's true.
Or green, depending on depending on Japan. I don't know. Like it's
Or
confusing.
depending on the version of the game.
Yeah, because red or Satoshi / Ash is red. Blue could be Gary or green could be Gary, and then blue could be I don't remember the woman the girl's name, but like I don't think it's Misty. It's somebody else.
Huh.
It can get confusing.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Also, it sucks we never got a green outside of Greenleaf. We never got a green version of Pokemon, of a legal copy. That is.
Yeah, that's true.
We never got an official copy here in the West.
Sadly not. Well, Ash managed to defeat Gary in the Johto region and with his Charizard. Yeah, his strongest Pokemon just from fending off a horde of Executor.
I felt bad for Charizard when he was abused when he was Charmander. Like it felt bad for him.
Yeah.
But I didn't like how he got lazy the more aggressive, because like Ash never treated him wrong.
Right.
That's the thing. If Ash would have mistreated him, I'd be like, okay, it makes sense why he doesn't want to listen to him. But
Yeah.
it's actually the opposite. And then because of that, he lost the Johto League because of it.
Yeah.
He lost the Johto League because Charizard didn't want to fight.
Didn't he fight once a Charmander before he said not to?
Yeah, but outside of like that one instance, he's like, "No, I'm not fighting." That's why
Well-
Richie won. That's why Richie won the fight.
That was
'Cause
Kanto.
I'm sorry,
Oh,
Kanto. My bad. I'm sorry. It's
Yeah,
it,
I know.
It has
Yeah,
been so long since I watched Pokemon, dude. I
I
love
vaguely
Pokemon, but I'm
remember
not
that
like
episode.
super religious to the point that I remember every detail minute of this. I gotta go watch it again, but it's like, oh my god. But it was ridiculous that Ash lost because not because he was weak, but because Charizard was
lazy.
just lazy.
Yeah,
He did not
definitely.
want to fight. He did not want to fight at all.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Even after stomping the ground and blowing a gust of wind at Richie's Pikachu.
I always found it weird though that like Richie, like they always did this in like anime or like cartoons. They always had like the doppelganger or clone of the main character.
Oh yeah.
Like Richie, like they created him because of like basically, I don't know. I guess that's technically he's red or he's fighting himself in a
Yeah.
way. But they never did anything with Richie. Like after like a couple of anime appearances, he disappeared. They never used him really after that. Outside of, hey, remember the time I beat you or not really beat you, but your Pokemon was lazy and it didn't want to fight?
Yeah. Right on.
They never used him after that outside of those instances. Like it kind of reminds me of like what they did with Brock. Remember when Brock was not going to be used? And you know the reason why he was not going to be used anymore? Because in Japan, they were scared of what the West would think of Brock because of the stereotype.
I
Because
know.
obviously Brock is like, he's African Asian. Obviously, he's not.
Yeah.
He's like Cambodian or like I'm trying to think of like like Okinawan Japanese. Like they have a darker skin tone.
Yes.
They were afraid that it would have been a negative stereotype in the West, and it actually was the opposite. We loved Brock over here.
Yeah. Same here.
So they replaced him with Tracy very briefly, and then when the fans were like, "No, we Brock back," they brought him back.
Yep. Yeah. And I wonder how long it took, how many episodes it took before the creators could respond.
I think it was like 20 or 30, and then they had to do like 10 more episodes, like 40 episodes. It was just Tracy in the cast, and then they swapped him back out. I don't think it was 50. It felt like 50 because when you're a kid, you're like, man, this is going to take forever.
Yeah. Well, that'll do it for tonight, guys. So what you think?
It just reminds me why I love Pokemon.
Me too.
Yeah. And honestly, hopefully Pokemon gets better,
Same here.
I don't want it to be downgraded, but sometimes when things last for a long time, they get worse and worse. Look at The Simpsons.
Yeah, I know.
I just hope for the staff for the video games and the anime, they make sure that the next generation of Pokemon is, it doesn't have to be exactly like the original,
Right.
but try to be as closely as possible without downgrading it completely.
Yeah, I agree. Well, thank you guys for coming tonight. Next week we'll be talking about evolutions by leveling up for the Twilight Tuesday streams. Well, have a good night, guys. We'll see you all.
Have a good night, guys.
Good night, all.
Have a good one.
See ya.